Question 7. Figure 1 shows ABC, a sector of a circle with centre A and radius 7 centimeters. Given that the size of angle BAC is exactly 0.8 radians, find A the length of the arc BC and B the area of the sector ABC. So we'll begin by finding the arc length. And the arc length is given by r theta, where r is the radius of the circle and theta is the angle subtended at the centre in radians. So this is simply 7, the radius, multiplied by 0.8. 7 eighths are 56, 7 times 0.8 is 5.6, and the units will be in centimetres because the radius is in centimetres. Now the area. The area of the sector is given by the formula 1/2 r squared theta. Again, r is the radius of the circle, theta is the angle at the centre in radians. So this is equal to 1/2 multiplied by 7 squared multiplied by 0.8. So we have 0.5 multiplied by 7 squared is 49 multiplied by 0.8. Answer 19.6. So the area is 19.6 and the units this time will be centimetres squared because again the radius is in centimetres. Part C. Find the perimeter of R, the shaded region, given your answer to 3 significant figures. Now one other piece of information we're given on this question is that D is the midpoint of AC. So AD here is 3.5 centimetres and DC is the other 3.5 centimetres of the radius AC. So first we're going to find the perimeter of R. Well, we know that that's 3.5. In the first part of the question we found out that the arc BC was 5.6 centimetres. So all I need to do is find this side here. So working in this triangle, I know this side, I know that side, and the angle in between them, so I can use cosine rule to find BD. So cosine rule BD squared is equal to 7 squared plus 3.5 squared minus 2 times 7 times 3.5 times cos 0.8, where 0.8 is measured in radians. So we use a calculator. Make sure we're in degrees at the moment, need that into radians. Let's put this in. 7 squared plus 3.5 squared minus 2 times 7 times 3.5 times the cosine of 0.8. And on this calculator you have to put the angle in before you hit the cosine button, and that gives 27.11. So BD squared is 27.11. So BD is the square root of that number, and the square root is 5.21 to 3 significant figures, 5.21. So it's 5.21 centimetres. So the perimeter is this 5.21 plus the 3.5 plus the 5.6. .21 plus 3.5 plus the arc length, which was 5.6. 5.21 plus 3.5 plus 5.6. And we want the answer to 3 significant figures, so it'll be 14.3. And the units, centimetres, to 3 significant figures. Now the last part of this question, we're asked to find the area of the shaded region R. Again, given the answer to 3 significant figures. Well, we don't have a formula for finding the area of a shape like that, but we've already found the area of this sector. And if I find the area of this triangle and subtract it from the area of the sector, I'll be left with R. So let's write down shaded area is equal to the area of the sector minus the area of the triangle. Now the area of the sector was 19.6 centimeters squared, we found in part 2 of the question. So now let's find the area of this triangle. And to do that, I'm going to say area of triangle is equal to a half AB sine C. And the significance of that formula is it's a half one side times another side times the sine of the angle in between them. So it's equal to a half multiplied by 7 multiplied by 3.5 multiplied by sine 0.8, where again 0.8 is measured in radians. Still in radians. So we've got 0.5 multiplied by 7 multiplied by 3.5 multiplied by the sine of 0.8. And that gives me 8.79 to 3 significant figures, 8.79. They will be in centimeters squared. So R, the shaded region, is equal to the 19.6 that we got for the sector minus this 8.79. (19.6) minus 8.79, 10.81, which to 3 significant figures is 10.8. 10.8 centimeters squared to 3 significant figures. And that completes question 7.